taking check-ins for anyone with the Yankee in their call. Taking Yankee calls now.
This is Kilo Yankee 4 Stump Jumper. That's Kilo Yankee 4 Stump Jumper. Over.
KY4SJ, that's a fancy call sign if I've ever heard one. Good Lord, and the duck-sucking quota. Hold on, I gotta back that cotton picker drive down. What's going down in the world of sound, y'all?
Not much. Out here shooting the breeze with anybody who cares to shoot the breeze. Oh, yeah. Hey, gut shot, exactly.
Alright, I just walked in the door. I still gotta, go get cleaned up and all that good stuff, but we'll be back here in a few, getting things warmed up.
Terry, does that have the two 3500s in it?
No, it's got the 3CX 1200 D7 in it. Whoa.
Take that thing out and sell it. And, put like a GS35 in there or something.
These tubes aren't cheap. That's for damn sure.
They are stout.
But they're a beefy tube, man. They're hard to kill.
Yeah, no, that's good, because you don't want to kill that.
No, as long as you keep an eye on the filament voltage and keep that where it's supposed to be, the tube should last forever. But these don't like running the filament voltage hot. It'll wear these things out pretty quick.
Yeah, but you're nice to it. You'll be fine. And like everyone else is telling you, like there's literally no difference between like your signal before and your signal now. So there's that too.
Right, I'm only running 50 watts more, so not really. And that's like, this Anon just doesn't drive it hard, which is a good thing, I guess, right? But yep, it'll last me a while, I hope. Anyway, I'm gonna go make a sandwich, put on my sweatpants, and oh man, somebody I went to high school with died got the coronavirus. Holy crap.
Yeah, a guy from our radio club passed away. And Tuesday night they had their radio club meeting on the air because, they're not having it in person anymore. And they played his Silent Key memorial. They played his call sign out over the air one last time in Morse code.
It's kind of sad, But, the stuff's not fake, so, it's there. Anyway, we're going to put this on the quiet side. We'll be back in a short bit. Oh, that's cool. Alright, we'll be back. W3MMR.
Can we get back to the net now?
Pulling it straight back.
I hear you out there. They're fired up, but the frequency's in use. But I reckon I'll still try to check into prenet. Y'all hearing me out there?
Now, Bobby, don't be listening to Dale Dribble. That boy will just get you in trouble. You just take the propane and propane products, and you'll be all right, son.
God damn it, Bobby! What in the hell did you do with all my beer?
But, Dad, Mama says I can have the cans to shoot with my BB gun.
That's perfect.
I'm gonna go talk to Boomhauer about how to pick up chicks.
Oh, well, as long as you don't tell him that I have a narrow urethra.
What's a urethra, Daddy?
Never mind, Bobby. You go on and play now.
Tammy Sue at school says that I've got a nice urethra. What's she mean by that, Dad?
Dude, who can do Boomhauer though, man? That's stuff. Dang old Bobby had my dang old urethra, man. I don't know dang old what to say, man.
That daggone there, the internet there to go click, 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 naked chicks and stuff. You know what I'm saying there, Boomhauer?
Go for it, Perry. Oh, I could do Meatwad. I could do Meatwad too.
Oh God, Meatwad. You know what this frequency is missing? The theme song to Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Man, dude, that was just almost before my time. I remember that, but like I was very, very young when that was a thing.
Oh no, that movie came out in 1985, 84, 85, and I remember renting it on Beta and watching it at home.
Well, for reference, I came out in 1985.
Alright, so yeah, it was a little before your time. I saw E.T. in the movie theater when it first came out.
Elliot. Man, yeah, that was a good movie. Dude, that movie was like, it kind of freaked me out when I was little. I mean, I was like real little, you know?
My other favorite movie from about that time, I think it was like 86, 87, The Last Starfighter. That was an awesome frickin' movie.
Yeah, I saw that one. That was a good movie, man. Real nice family movie. What else came out? Oh, The Empire Strikes Back. That came out. My parents had the VHS, and I would always look at it as like a real little kid. I'd pick it up and look, and be like, wow, you know, and like, I was like just barely old enough to like watch a movie and pay attention. So the beginning of that thing, where Luke is in that cave, that ice cave, hanging upside down, and that big, you know, whatever that monster is, comes out. It scared me so bad. Like, I would have nightmares about that as a kid. That was crazy.
Yeah, the movie that scared the crap out of me when I was a kid was the original Poltergeist.
Carol Ann. Walk into the light.
Oh, I was way too young to be watching those. And I remember as a kid, we'd go to Blockbuster. Yeah, Blockbuster. And walk around. Hey, Dad, can I get this? Can I get... He's like, I don't know if you like that one, Billy. Why don't you pick another one? Oh, okay, you know. And, you know, I'd like... It's like... pick out like Silence of the Lambs or something. He's like, nah, that's probably not a good movie.
Yeah. I was born in 76. So, my first real memories of movies and stuff is pretty much anything 82 and up.
Yeah. There's some movies that I saw as a kid that I like vividly remember parts of, and I have no idea what they're called. And it would be like so nostalgic to find those movies, and I've tried before. Same thing with like video games I played when I was younger, like some of those real old computer games that were kind of like not that popular, and I just remember playing. I don't remember what some of them are called. It sucks.
Yeah, when I was 5 or 6, Dad came home with a Commodore VIC-20. And then shortly after that, when it came out, we had a Commodore 64 and then a 128 and Commodore Amigas. And, yeah, I played all the old games. Dig Dug, K.C. Munchkin, Defender, Gyrus, all kinds of good classic games.
Hello. Hey, I'm back. I was gone. I'm back. W2PHL. Hey, guys, there's a bar in Manhattan if we survive. It's called Barcade, and they've got great beer, great food, and they've got a whole room filled with all the old video games.
Whereabouts in Manhattan?
Oh, I can't tell you off the top of my head, but it's down in 20s someplace. And I went there twice. And they've got Lunar Lander. It's my favorite of the old school games.
You know,
I hop on the train about once a year and go up to B&H, Camera and Video, just for the hell of it. Maybe on my next trip I'll put that on my list. I usually take the late train leaving out of the city and get home really late.
The one on 34th Street.
Yeah, I think there's more than one. I don't think the one I went to was on 34th. It was lower down than that, but I don't know. It's a Google search away. It's called Barcade.
I remember when that place came, like when they opened it. There was a bunch of people talking about it on like these forums that I was on, and I've never gone there, but I almost did. Not much of a story, but that place looks really cool.
Yeah, I like the idea that you can get some food there too, you know. So, oh, here it is, Barcade. Oh, see, there's a bunch of locations. There. Oh, hey, Shaky, come here. Come here. Say hello to Boo Boo. Shaky, come here. Being a jerk. Yeah, St. Mark's Place. There you go.
No, cats, they know, because Boo Boo's not in here either. She's like, no, it's not radio time. They have some kind of cat schedule. I'm sure they'll both wander in the shack at the same time.
Yeah, and they catch an attitude when you ask them to do something.
Hey, you hear them out there, Phil? Them boys done fired up on top of our queue, so that's not too nice.
73, gentlemen, I gotta pull it on out of here. M2YKX clear.
M2YKX, thanks for checking into the pre-net out here in Yankee Land. This is W2BTK. Any late check-ins?
Yankee.
Who's the Yankee station?
It's actually into Yankee Kilo X-ray, but I say Yankee 3 times because it makes me laugh. Yep.
Check in.
Well, thanks for checking in there, Mr. Yankee Kilo X-ray with the multiple Yankees. I'll catch you later.
This here is November 4, Kilo. That's N4KKK. Checking into the Southern Net.
Oh my God.
What was that, boy?
Nothing. I'll see you at the meeting tonight there, Cletus.
How do you know my name is Cletus?
Well, I reckon we're all named Cletus. Last time I checked.
Well, hot damn. Hey, where'd you look? Your belt buckle or your underwear?
Oh, well. I never kiss and tell.
Oh boy, that hit below the belt right there.
You got that trucker reverb going now. You know how those guys that get the noise canceling mics and they got that little bit of reverb in the cab?
Yeah. It's just when I get like animated with my voice. If I just talk normal, it's not too apparent. But if I go like, woo! Then you really hear it.
I need to get me one of them there Roger beeps. How do I get a hold of that Roger feller?
Who needs a Roger beep?
Bro, that was the best. I haven't heard one of those things in a while.
Just because it does that other stuff doesn't mean you should do it. N2LYJ, Buffalo, New York.
Yeah, N2LYJ with the key up. I like that. I used to have a bunch of those.
You know, I got a couple of Bipone Roger beats up here at the box. I used to be a big fan of those too with the dial. You can adjust with the stuff. And well, let's see what else I got. But Sweeney first thing, always have to keep that around.
Yep. I like those. Yeah, I had stuff like that. My favorite was the air horn sound. Just load that onto... You could get these... What were they? ISD chips. Audio record playback chips. For like voice memos or whatever. And we'd get those and load the air horn sound on them. And rig them into the radio. So every time you keyed up, it was like... Like, like Funkmaster Flex on Hot 97.
The Venga Boys Party Bus.
Phil, you're in there right in the middle of their coverage area. You listen to Hot 97?
No, I don't. 104.3 is the only station I'll listen to. But I have to say it's mostly my USB stick in the car.
Yeah, once you hear the same 15 classic rock songs over and over, that's what everyone listens to on the job sites, 104.3. It's okay. Yo, Pickle. And, sorry, saying hi to people in the chat. But Hot 97, it's like, yeah, I don't listen to it either. But I was just wondering, because sometimes they put on it as a joke.
I'm still mourning the loss of a 92.7 WLIR. That was my kind of music, or at least back in the day it was.
WLIR. I listen to DVE now, man. WDB. I listen on iHeartRadio. It's from Pittsburgh. It's the freaking best classic rock station known.
Hey Larry, the frequency's in use. I don't listen to a lot of radio anymore. I moved out here and it got all screwed up because like a lot of the stations I listen to don't come in that great here, and I get like bombing in from like Pennsylvania, so I've got to like rediscover the dial. You know what I mean?
Yeah, every once in a while you find something like new, because 92.3 was a decent rock station back in the 80s and 90s, and then it went disco. Oh wait, no, that's KTU. That's not, no. And then then it went like pop, and now it's kind of back to like modern rock. I don't even know how you describe it. Like it's not progressive. You know what I mean? It's like the newer stuff.
Yeah, nothing music. I remember K-Rock. That was what I would listen to, a long time ago. That was a good station. SOU sometimes has good shows on there. The Seton Hall station, SOU Pirate Radio. Not really. They're like licensed, but they're the Seton Hall Pirates. It's funny. Horror.
Yeah, that's I think 89.1, right?
80. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I listen to that once in a while, but not in a long time. And then, if I'm driving up north, like as soon as I leave the Bronx, get into Westchester, 101.1 is pretty good. No, what did I say? 107.1. The Peak. That one's not bad.
Yeah. What else? Oh, the one other station I'd listen to around there, and I don't know if you can get it where you are, is WBGO 88.1, and they play a lot of jazz. And they have all, different programs on there, sometimes like Latin music or, blues or whatever, but it's mainly a jazz station. A lot of good stuff on there.
W2PHL. No, 88.1 is kind of, it's all jammed up in my house anyway, with my FM transmitters.
Yeah, I've got some goofy station over here. I forget what they call themselves, like I don't know, but they play like 70s and 80s classic rock, and I end up listening to that a lot at work just because it has the best reception around the job sites around my house.
Yeah, my new car has got an HD receiver in it, and that's kind of neat too. So you can hear some of the AM stuff, talk radio and whatever, comes in super nice and clear, because the AM receiver in my new car is really crappy. So yeah, HD's pretty cool. And then I got that XM on there too, which seems like I'm not going to subscribe to it. I got a free trial with it, but there's really nothing on that at all. I mean, unless you're into rap. Oh, there he is. What are you doing? That was a drive-by. He came by and then he meowed and walked away. Yeah, XM is kind of, if you're into like rock and that sort of genre, there's only a couple channels that have it, and the rest is all like pop and rap and all of the different variations.
Yeah, a lot of nothing music, but it is what it is, I suppose. That HD in the car is cool, though. I get a kick out of that too. My Subaru has that. And sometimes you'll find good stuff like being simulcasted on the other HD channels. Like, I flip through them when I'm somewhere where I think the reception will hold out, because sometimes it drops out of HD, like, and if you're listening to a simulcast channel, it just goes away. So every once in a while I'll mess with that, and I've found pretty good stuff like that.
Yeah, 92.3, I don't even know what their callers are anymore, but they have, they do HD, and their secondary channel has some really cool music on it too. It's even like more alternative than the main channel.
WMMR in Philly, their HD channel is their MM Archives channel, which is all like classic, like live rock shows and in studio performances and stuff like that. HD1.
You pronounced the R incorrectly.
What is it? MMR.
No, that's not how you say it.
MMR. MMR.
Yeah, WMMR out there.
Yeah, like the guys did, the cars are down at the parking garage. But I like WMMR, hence my call, W3MMR.
Yeah, I was listening to MMR in the car down over there to get some clam chowder. I parked in Harvard Yard. The prick gave me a ticket. Dude, it was like trippy living in Boston, and people, they really talk like that, like the kids from Boston. I was in music school, and we sometimes, like, you'd answer a question like, oh yeah, G sharp, and I remember specifically this kid said G sharp one time in ear training class. He's like, yeah, G sharp, and the teacher totally screwed with him. He's like, what did you say? It's like, G sharp, shop. He's like, screw you guys. Like it was hilarious. There was tons of that.
That's great. Hello, Phil.
Hey, Perry. I said hello to you too, but you doubled with me. How you doing?
That's okay. We all get a free double or two.
Yeah, it's the only doubles going on these days.
Hey, you know what I put in my channel there, Perry? You get like channel points. One of them you can redeem for 1,500 channel points. You can redeem that BTK will key up his radio and strap somebody of your choosing.
That's great. You have all the bells and whistles on your live stream. I just have me, a chat that brings up, YouTube or all the different platforms I'm streaming on in one chat, and my SDR, and that's it. Not too much else. You have all the bells and whistles.
That stuff's all built into Twitch, though.
Okay, that's what I figured. There's a lot of other stuff I could do with OBS. I could, have it pop up when somebody subscribes and, a whole bunch of other different stuff, but I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. I don't have as much motivation to, be interactive with the folks in there. I'd rather people just watch and, I'll, comment about it if somebody types in there, but there's not, people come and go real fast, they watch from a distance.
Somebody redeemed Keon Clark, but Clark's not out here. And so I guess we try to pull him out of the woodwork so that Ants can, not have his channel points wasted. But, yeah, I do the same thing, though, Barry. I mean, I'm just here talking on the radio. People come, people go. I talk to them, that's all. And the people that watch are pretty awesome. It's like a group of maybe 10 main people, and they're here checking it out, and because of them the channel actually got to a affiliate ranking on Twitch, so that's really cool. Twitch is a good platform. I looked at the restream stuff to go on YouTube and Facebook and stuff, though, but I'd rather just be here. Seems like good community. W2BTK.
I got a mouthful, hold on.
Barry, somebody made me an offer for the big amplifier the other day. I guess they heard us talking about it here, and they searched me out through QRZ and sent me an offer.
Which amplifier was that? I forget.
The 8K Ultra.
Oh. That's right, I forgot you had one.
Yeah. Apparently there was only 400 of them ever made. Not a whole lot. And he made me an offer that was quite a bit more than what I paid for the thing at the estate sale. So when he gets his butt up here from Florida, it's gone.
Cool. I'll give you $500 for it.
His offer was 5 figures.
5 figures? Yeah, I'm not saying that I don't believe you, because I do. I know how much those things go for. It's just, I wouldn't spend that kind of money. There's this Japanese company who makes a 3CX3000 amplifier, fully remote. It's got automatic antenna tuner. That everything's networked. You can link it over operator remote from anywhere in the world. And it's a 3CX3000, and it's less than $10,000, and the thing is built like a tank. So I guess if that's really what you want, if you want, it's almost like I equate it to people pay more for a Harley Davidson because it's a Harley Davidson.
Yeah, well, there's guys that collect Henry stuff. Absolutely. They were handmade, just a few a week at a time, and especially the bigger ones. They really produce low numbers on them. But I bought the thing up in outside of Lancaster from an estate sale, and I still gave a couple of $1,000 for it. And the tube was trash. I got a pull out of an MRI machine and stuck in it. Got it working, got it all cleaned up. I think I paid, $300 or $400 for the pull. And yeah, but I mean, the last one I saw on eBay, the guy listed it starting at 9, and the bidding got all the way up to 15. So that was about a year ago.
You should clean that thing up with the rare tube in it, and like go through it and make it like awesome, like eye candy awesome, and then just like sell it for a profit and homebrew something badass.
You say me?
Gale.
Yeah, Perry.
Well, this thing's already like immaculate. I mean, there's not many cosmetic things wrong with it. There's a few tiny little scratches. Rob, if you're listening, I'll call you back after I get done eating and talking. So it's like super clean. Like, I don't know if you've seen all the pictures, but the thing's really clean, and I enjoy it. Could, I guess, use some polishing on some of the metal, but I'll tell you what, like, this Henry amplifier is a step above any other amplifier I've ever owned. I mean, this thing is built like a tank, and we're using the best of the best components, like, these things were built to last and built to be beat on.
Yeah, I hear you. But I'm just saying, if you want to go up to something bigger, you could probably sell that thing for a profit and build something bigger. Just make it yourself, Spend the majority of the money on a nice tube and build some crap around it.
No, I would eventually like to do that. But I'm going to wait till I move, until I buy, build a big box or get a big box or anything big box, big tube, big transmitter. Until I get out in the country, until I'm, at a place that I know I'm going to be at for a very long time, and a place that's bigger, a place that's not in the city, so it'll, hopefully won't be long. But we'll see. But yeah. This thing works great. I really enjoy it, and I'm glad I got the fan noise like lowered in the shack, because it was so annoying having like that blasting fan noise all the time. Like, I was used to it being so quiet in here. W3 MMR.
Yeah, that was a major thing when I got this amp. It's just the noise floor. But you know what? Lately I've been listening on headphones, and that knocks some of the blower noise out of my hearing, and just I can listen to these tiny little speakers right on my ear at low volume, and it's way less fatiguing than it is to just blast my monitor speakers up over the 90-something dB SPL noise floor that's ambient in the room. So I feel you on that, man. Noisy environment sucks, especially if you're going to sit here for a few hours and operate. It's like, I do that all day at work, it's always noisy. You come home and it's like, you just want quiet. If I could have my way, it'd be really quiet in here. You could do it, you just can't have... You gotta have like separate rooms with stuff going on and walk over there a lot. W2BTK.
Well, that's kind of the plan. I would like to, like, if I have an amplifier or anything that's loud, a transmitter that's loud, it's gonna go like in a closet, or in a separate room. Because you hit the nail on the head. But my shop, like working in an automotive shop, is loud all the time. We got the chop saw going, people doing exhaust work, and there's air hammers, there's impact, impact guns, and it's just air ratchets, and it's the compressors, chugging away. So my toolbox is right in the back next to the compressor, and my bay is the last bay, in the shop, and there's like a back room where the compressor is in my box, and like I can spread out back there. It's nice. It's like my own little, my own little getaway. And but I mean, it's loud constantly. And then I got the radio going, or I usually have earbuds in. For a long time I used earbuds, Bluetooth earbuds, but lately I bought a little Bluetooth stereo amplifier off of Amazon for like $35 and hooked up a set of monitor speakers, extra monitor speakers I had laying around here at the house to them, and been using that because I kind of feel cut off from the rest of the shop if I have my earbuds in. People like trying to get my attention and I can't hear them or can't hear what's going on around me. It's not real safe.
Air compressors suck.
All day.
You know what's worse than that, though? Guys with dyno shops, across the street from your shop, that tune Hondas. There are the premier Honda tuning, crap hole in Newark. Oh my God, that was awful. But we kind of tortured that guy too.
That's funny. Yeah, speaking of Hondas, we had a mid-'80s, late 80s Honda, 4-door Honda Civic in today, like the real square body style, like the square front, like slanted front lights, and this thing was slam lowered to the ground, had BBS wheels on it, and actually was super clean, looked really classy, really sharp. And it was one of the local cops here in Chester, one of the Chester cops. Like, you never would have thought a cop would be driving this car. But he was. I had to put a muffler on it. Well, wasn't even a muffler. I call them fart cans, but boy, oh boy, it's like, I'm talking about. Sometimes like a jet ski, and somebody has fired up in their backyard, with the earmuffs on it, washing it out from a day of riding.
Chester, that's his undercover narcotics vehicle.
Nah, not this guy. He's not a detective, but I wouldn't be surprised if they used something like that.
Those things are... It's so funny. Like, the guy with the stock Honda Civic economy car, and they weld the fart can on there, and you hear him coming, it's like... And like you turn around and you're like, God, you're expecting something to like whiz by you. You hear all this noise and the guy's going like 20. Like, a guy in a Toyota Prius is passing him, but he's just like, wah! It's so funny looking, dude.
It's so obnoxiously loud. Like they go to pass somebody, it's like all show and no go. Uh-oh. What day is it? Thursday? It's for DupreeNet.
Oh, you're just starting to hear them now? They've been in there for half an hour already, 40 minutes.
I've heard somebody in there, but I wasn't sure who it was. I figured that's who it was, but I just started hearing the voices come through now, so... And your noise floor is a little lower than mine, so I'm sure you probably hear them a little sooner than I do. And you're not that far away, and you're up higher.
He's competing with you like a little bit. Like I hear him in there when you're talking.
Really? God, he's like right at my noise level. He's a lot stronger there than he is here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you can check my pan adapters. I don't know how much delay there is today. Not monitoring the stream, but probably like between 5 and 10 seconds.
I'll tell you what, YouTube's been good lately. It's only been like a 1 or 2 second delay. But yeah, I heard you talking about, I don't know if you got my text. I was listening to work earlier when you and Mike, I guess, were talking about computers and stuff, and yeah, my computer suffices definitely. Like right now, I'm streaming on 3 different platforms. I have obviously the SDR running, OBS running, my logging program open, my watt meter program, the S meter, and I have a browser open, and I'm running it 28% CPU right now, total usage.
Yeah, you have a better computer than I do. I don't know, but and also like you're streaming on 3 platforms, but that's not adding to your CPU load at all. You're only doing one. You're only encoding one stream, and then you're using Restream's RTMP server to like as like a middleman, you know. So they're actually doing that, but I looked into that too, man, and I decided not to do it. I don't know why. I'm not doing it.
Well, you already got a good little following on Twitch and stuff, you know. And I've had like a following on YouTube with my videos when I was just doing recordings and not live streaming. And then there was people on Facebook who went to my YouTube channel, or who I knew on YouTube that I was trying to get them to go to my YouTube channel, or I knew on Facebook that I was trying to get to go to my YouTube channel. And then you had mentioned Twitch, so I was just like, well, let me sign up for Twitch because that's the only one I don't use, or one of the only ones I don't use. So I figured, what the hell, I'll try it. But my internet's kind of being a little slow, a little funky right now for some reason. I don't know why.
That's because everybody's out home streaming right now, Perry. Good evening, KD2 AFV.
Hey, Toby, what's up, man? I saw you pop in the stream there, and Barry, I think Twitch is probably not the platform for you, just because, I mean, you said it yourself, like, if you don't want to be interactive and you know, kind of have all that stuff going on, that's like what Twitch is popular for. You know, if you're just gonna have the stream up there for people to log in and listen and come and go, that's one thing. This is more of like, you know, it's like a community. The SDR is part of it, but that's not the whole reason why everyone's supposed to come in. That's like the Twitch philosophy, you know. It's a place to hang out, more or less. So if you're gonna do like AFK streams, then you're probably not gonna get many people watching on Twitch. But on YouTube, it's like YouTube's perfect for that. Facebook, maybe, you know. I'm not too up on like Facebook streams. I don't really watch anything on there. W2BTK with the boring conversation.
Toby, did you see the post I tagged you in?
I did. Yeah, it was Sequam the guy was building, right?
Yeah, 11 meter guy building a Sequam AM transmitter. You know Getaway Driver, Billy?
Heard of him, don't really know him.
Yeah, Getaway Driver.
I've heard of him.
Yeah, well, he's building a Sequam AM transmitter for 11 meters.
Wait, say that again?
He's building a Sequam AM transmitter. He just posted the schematic and his idea and like the PCB for it on Facebook.
Why?
Because I guess he's bored. I don't know. We just got done building a asymmetrical AM, you know, AM transmitter with a DDS VFO and an asymmetrical modulator for the AM broadcast band he just built. I think it's on like 1230. Yeah, he just got done building that too. He just builds a bunch of crazy projects, and he's repurposing a 10 FET, a 10 LD MOS, transistor. I think it was like some kind of, I don't know, some kind of thing that he's repurposing into a linear.
Yeah, that's cool. Those guys do some pretty interesting stuff on 11 meters. But you know what the problem is with it, Perry? It's all, top secret this, new technology that, hush hush. You know, don't take no pictures of this. It's secret. You know, you can only see if you're in the group. You know, it's like, yeah, blow me. And then you come out here on 75 meters and people are like, oh, you want to build this? Well, like here, like I built one of those 10 years ago. Here's the schematic, like every part you need, this, that, and call me on the phone if you have any questions. It's like completely polar opposite. And most of the guys, I mean, there's a handful of guys on CB who are like at that level, but like it's the norm out here on 75 meters. And it's just like, why do you have to be like that, you know?
Well, it's easy because they want to make it look like, you know, they want to pound their chest and, you know, have, you know, they want people to think that these guys are something they're not. And they want people to look up to them and they want to feel special. That's what it's all about. Just like I know you're friends with a certain group over the bridge from me, over in Cumberland County, okay, but or Gloucester County, but you know that's how that clique is. And like, oh, I'm over here at the camp. It's secret. You got to hand your cell phones in when you come over here. You know they got cell phone blockers, so you can't take no pictures. You know what I mean? Oh, if you ain't part of a camp, you're part of the camp, you know, blah, blah, blah. We're light years ahead of people, you know, so on and so forth. But, like, if you and, like, all these pictures of, like, you know, like, oh, you're not even supposed to know what a transmitter, you know, what this so-and-so transmitter looks like. But if you go on his QRZ page, I mean, there's pictures of it from top to bottom and the schematics on how he built it, you know, on his QRZ page, you know what I mean? It just cracks me up.
You know what's real funny, Perry, is I just posted it up in Billy's chat there. It's all secret tech that's 40, 50, 60 years old.
No more truth has ever been spoken on 75 meters.
Yeah, it's funny. But that's the thing, like, you know, some of these guys, I mean, yeah, they could probably come out here and be fine and this and that, but, like, let's talk about, what is it, W7... Is the 7 called BBI? Luke, right? So he's like got his little following and he makes his videos and uses a lot of big words and like some of the stuff he does is cool. Well, a lot of the stuff he does, like he doesn't have the he needs help and he could get it out here on 75 meters, but he wouldn't be able to come out here and play like Mr. All-Star Technician because, like, you know, there's guys out here who know a lot more about this crap than him, and they're here every night. You know what I mean? It's not like you'd have to drop all that and become a little bit humble. And I think he could really like start doing cool stuff, but he wants to exist in that world of CB and hush hush silence, secret technology. I can't show you this. It's proprietary stuff. This, that, and you know, like my problem with the guy is he does great work. He's got a passion for the hobby, but he will never outgrow that stupid game that he likes to play and pretend to be, you know, Mr. All-Star Technician, where it's like, I come out here and have a conversation with Timtron, bro. You know what I mean? And I'll leave it at that.
Right, because if you can go back and forth like with Timmy or with Tom K1JJ or Frank GFZ or you know I mean the list goes on and on with the brains on this on this little band spread here, you know. But I know exactly what you're saying. He wants to exist in that little world of his where he's got his following and he, you know, people think the world of him, you know, and they think they put him up on this pedestal and he's like way past the point of being humble because he's friends with Prime and he's friends with Sir Mix-a-Lot, you know, and Anthony's a good dude, you know, he's, you know, like cool, but like he probably like laughs about a lot of this stuff, you know what I mean? It's like this guy's, you know, he just kind of does his own thing and keeps a low key about it, but not Luke. And you're right, he does good work, and he builds a lot of cool stuff and really cool looking stuff. I mean, he's got like, you know, some of his stuff really is artwork, you know, and his big transmitter, his big, you know, 3CH 50,000 capable transmitter. What do you call it? God, what's the Star Wars dude's name? You know what I'm talking about, the Luke's father. I can't think of his name right now. But anyway, no, I agree wholeheartedly with everything you said. W3MMR, shutting up.
Darth Vader.
That's it. Vader is what he called it.
Yep. But, I don't know. There's some stuff that irks me, too. Like, anytime he gets, like, a ham imp in there or something, he's like, oh, it's junk, and, like, hams, like, they, you know, they don't know how to do AM like I know how to do AM. That's the vibe I get, man. It's just like, ugh. It's ugh.
My USB220 does 5,000 watts. KD8 SMU.
What up, Shane? No, you're right. And then when he gets like his ham amps in there, and then have you ever seen him trying to, like when he does have a ham amplifier in there and he's going to like, say 40 meters or 75 meters, and he starts transmitting to the dummy low, like in the CW portion of the band. Like he's got the radio set on. It's not like he comes to 80 meters and sets it on 3885. It's like on 3.57, like down in FT8. You know, it's quite hilarious. But I mean, the guy does what he does, and he stays extremely busy with that. I think he's like a tow truck driver, or was. I don't see how he can have a full-time job and like come home, like unless he's got a super crazy passion for it, you know, to work a day job 8 to 10 hours a day and then come home and work on all those amplifiers he's got over there and make all those videos and edit all those videos. You know, he must I don't know, I wouldn't be able to work and do all that. You know, you would have to work. But the money that you would make off of that, I mean, he charges a lot of money for the work he does.
And hey, Shane, pass it to you. I just want to jump in. And I don't think he makes a lot of money. I think he's got a tremendous passion for the hobby and a lot of work and time going into it. And I give him all the credit in the world for that. But, you know, as far as the other stuff, and I don't fault him either for, you know, like he doesn't know where people talk. And he's a technician. I struggled with that when I first got my General. Like, I'd always have to check the band plan, like, oh, okay. Like, it took me a while to learn, like a year of talking on HF before I was really comfortable. So I don't fault him at all for that. It's just, you know, the connotation he has when he talks about, oh, yeah, this ham guy. But, you know, there's a lot of really smart people out here who are willing to help you and not keep things secret. And, you know, they'll call you on your bullshit, and that's why he's not out here. And I'm sorry I cursed. Just slipped. W2BTK, I'll man up.
Oh, my ears. N3RIK.
My ears!
Yeah, I'm not the only one who's done that recently, so I truly apologize. I got a little bit passionate about what I was talking about.
Dude, I curse all day at work, and it's like I have to really watch myself.
You don't hear me cursing a lot, like, do you?
No, I tried it. I don't think I've cursed one time, and that's when I had a little freak out, and I dropped the F-bomb. But I tried not to curse at all.
Well, if anyone asked, I would say I didn't hear a thing.
That's right. And good evening. What was your call? I'm sorry, Bruce. N3RIK. Good evening. Sounding good. Oh, you're my neighbor. You're in Percy.
And Shane's in there too.
Yeah, Shane. I know Shane's in there. He usually comes in when I leave, so I guess I'm probably leaving soon.
Get out of here.
Hey, Shane, how's your dipole holding up? Did it hold up to the wind and didn't break?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, now that I got real size wire and and all that is working good.
Dude, like every time I would hear about wind coming on the news or something, or I checked the weather. Usually 2 days before, a day before it got there, 2 days before it got there, I knew it was going to be bad because your antenna's broken again.
Yeah, I think it was 14 gauge, so, and I mounted it different. I moved it about 20 foot around the yard. And I raised it a little bit, and I went to raise it a little bit more. It's too tight. I got to loosen a couple things. Everything together, so I put.
Figure it's easy to use, dummy.
So now I gotta loosen up the ends, then I can push it up. It's almost a inverted V now.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I think I have my antenna is 16 gauge. It works fine. I have the W7 FL or W7 FA doublet. I always forget the guy's call sign, but it's TrueLadderline.com. And 600 ohm open wire fed. W7FG, 125 foot, 10 through 80 meter doublet. I would have, a bigger antenna, like a 240 foot antenna up if I had the room, trust me, but I don't.
No, I got going from a telephone pole that's right next to the road in front of my house to my shed, which is 10 foot from the road behind my house. I own the whole corner, two corners actually, the whole end of the block, so, and it's all the way there, from one side to the other side. Yeah, unless I really got a big tower, which I've been looking for, that way I could, take it up into an inverted V to save some room.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I live on a postage stamp, man. And I, excuse me. I don't even know, like, this antenna is the apex 65 feet. The one end's about 25 foot up, and the other end's about 15. 12, no, I think it's 12 feet, and the other end's off the ground. And it literally goes from one corner of my property to the other, so. But then I hook it up as I short the feeders here and up to one side of the balanced tuner and ground out the other side to the ground radials and use it as a T antenna on 160, and it works good. So I don't do much 160. I didn't this winter anyway, because I get home at 6 o'clock and nobody gets on until like 7 or 8. So by the time anybody got on, I was already ready for bed. W3 MMR.
N2 MIN.
What's up, Art?
Hello. What's that fancy antenna tuner you made? I saw it on your webpage.
That's a balanced L network tuner. 2 big inductors and a vacuum variable capacitor, 5 kV, 7 to what is it? 7 to I think 1,000 puff. Jennings vacuum variable. I'm gonna use a 1/2 inch braid throughout the whole thing, and I use like I rolled the inductors myself. I got the idea from Billy. It's basically a copy of the tuner Billy built. Billy has one, and I just kind of put my own little spin on it.
Yeah, it looks impressive. Boy, am I low. I don't know. Damn VFO. Even if I go on rocks. Oh, there we go. Starting to come up. Yeah, I saw it online. I saw Billy's W2BTK. And very nice job. Very impressive. Got 20 turns. What size tubing is that? Is that, what is it, 1/4 inch OD?
Yeah, it's 1/4 inch, and I wrapped it using a, God, what was it, a 2-inch piece of PVC? I can't remember. Nah, it had to be bigger than that. 4 inch? I gotta measure it, I forget, man. Yeah, and just wrapped them. I wrapped them individually, but it would have been smarter to wrap them both at the same time. And they would have been, it would have been easier to keep them equally spaced between each turn. But I drilled out pieces of Lexan as like spreaders and like a form, and each of those keeps them really spaced evenly.
Hey, Perry.
Yes.
That phone number on your website, can that receive text messages?
Yes, it can.
Alright. I'm going to send you one here in a minute.
All right.
Hey Perry, does your 1-to-1 Ballon like ever get above room temperature, like even a little bit?
No, not that I've noticed. Nothing does. Nothing ever heats up on that thing. Everything stays ice cold.
Yeah, mine did too. With that other Ballon though, when it's like got this amp, like I'd notice after a little while, like a long while, there would be a little bit of heat, but I think that was just the small coax I was using, heating up. Cause it I don't know. But I built a different Ballon. I'm not using that coax Ballon anymore.
Maybe it's saturating the ferrite choke.
No, the cores weren't getting hot. I think it was just literally just the coax was getting a little bit. I'm using that tiny little. It looks like Mini 8, but it's got Teflon dielectric and double shield on it.
Yeah, it's the RG393.
It's actually RG142, I think.
Is that what it is? Oh, 393 is the super small stuff that they use in amplifiers. That's what that. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, what size ferrite choke did you use? That looks like an onion, the way you round it. A 1-to-1 Ballon.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're right, Billy. Yeah, RG142. There it is. I got mine off of eBay. I still have a good amount of it left over. And that's a mixed 31 core. And yeah, it's just a 1-to-1 Ballon on the on the 50 ohm side of the of the tuner. And it works really well. I'm very happy with the way that tuner came out. Works on every band. The first vacuum variable I bought was no good. I bought it off of eBay and off a guy in Israel. They sell the only vendors that have vacuum variables on eBay are overseas. If you want to pay a decent price for one. And the first one was bad. It would arc. 80 meters was fine, but if I go on any other band, the capacitor would arc inside. So he sent me another one for free, and I still have the busted one. And now I've had no problems. I was the other day when I was tuning up this amplifier the other day, I was doing throwing a 2,000 watt carrier, and for however long it took me to tune up the amplifier, and everything survived.
Yeah, what was the mix on that choke, the ferrite donut?
It's mixed 31. I gotta look at the. I forget the size. I forget the actual size of it. Billy might know, but I'll look it up for you.
It's an FT24031.
There you go. I thought it was 240, but I didn't want to say that and sound like an ass.
Okay.
I got 2 of those things now. I doubled them up. And I don't know, I don't think it really changed anything, but I got stacked cores now, baby.
Yeah, I actually already had that. I bought a ferrite kit from Palomar Engineering. They sell these ferrite kits, these interference, RFI kits, man. And I think I got 6 of those FT240 cores, all mixed 31, and then I got a bunch of the clamp-on ones, from large to small. And I paid like $100-something for it, but dude, that stuff's been a lifesaver. Not for me, with other stuff, because I come through my speakers on 160. I get some RF in my speakers, so I had to use them here for the speakers, and sometimes I get my my little webcam, my action camera, gets a little funky when I run when I was, because I have a 10-foot cable. It's a really long run. It was okay when it was shorter, but since I had to run a real long run of it, I put a bunch of turns on one of them FT240 cores in it, and it stopped all that. But I don't think that's RF from like anything being unbalanced. I think it's from literally the one leg of the antenna is about 10 feet outside the window here.
Okay, very good. You said you got a Henry 3K?
Yes, a Henry 3KD Classic, 3CX1200 D7.
Yeah, what tube is in that? Is that a ceramic tube?
Yeah, it's a ceramic tube. It's a 3CX1200 D7.
Yeah, okay, I thought so. Yeah, like I said, I was going to build a 3CX 3000 A7 tube amplifier. And when I saw the price of the tubes, forget it. I don't want to spend that much.
Yeah, well, this tube new is about as much as one of those. Actually, a little more. You can get a new one for, well, actually, I think the 3000s are a little bit more new, not much more. Yeah, but this tube new is a $1,200 tube. RF Parts has it for just under $1,300 for a new one. And there's new ones. I found new tested ones for $950. They're new old stock, but they are apparently tested and for, like I said, $950 there. But and I also know the person I got this off of has a spare a good tube for it. I think $700 or something like that. But they're a rugged tube. They just cost a lot to replace.
You know, I found out that they rebuild the 3CX 3000 tubes. I didn't know you could rebuild a tube. But as I was reading on online, I found out that they rebuild them.
Oh yeah, I know guys who got those rebuilt, got 10,000s, 15,000s, 20,000s rebuilt. Because like when you get up to those really big transmitting tubes, like the 15s and the 20s and the 10s, they cost a crap ton of money for a new one. Talking like $8,000 to $10,000. So a rebuilt one. I know like what's it? Aconco rebuilds tubes. I do know that, and they're pretty trustworthy company. It's still open, and it's still in. I think they're in California.
I know, like a lot of. I'm on that transmitter site Facebook group. And there's a lot of broadcast engineers there, and they all say that like Econco is pretty hit or miss. Like a lot of them run like 15s and stuff for broadcasts. And they'll have to go through like 2 or 3 of them before they find a good one, and they're sending them back. Just what I've heard from like those guys talking about it.
You should have Conoco is owned by the same company that actually owns iMac now.
I was like a triple. I heard the last comment there about the iMac, or they're owned by iMac. Who else was in there?
Me. I said you should have that picture now.
Conoco is owned by the same company that owns iMac now, so it's basically the same company that builds the tubes is rebuilding the tubes.
Just heard a lot of guys have problems with Econco rebuilds.
Yeah, are you talking about the I Take Pictures of Transmitter Sites group?
Yeah.
That's an awesome group, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's a cool Facebook group.
Yeah, that's definitely a pretty cool group. Oh, and I talked to him today on Messenger. I'll talk to you later about it.
No. We need to talk about it right here on the air. There is no talk about it later. It's on the air.
Put your laundry out.
Don't hold back on us now. We need to know.
God damn it.
Don't do it.
Yeah, Perry. Spill the beans.
Nah, he was just... Okay, he said that, he'd been told that you were keen on getting back into the group. and that you were let back into the AM group on QRZ. And he said he's not an ogre, and here's his proposal. If you really want to rejoin, you must do so under your real name and call sign, and promise to behave and abide by the rules. He said he'll forego wanting an apology for what happened over the air. I think you know what I'm talking about. He said he'd have to run it by the moderator team of 10. Anyway, if I think it's a good idea. And he said that you were booted originally for seeking conflict with the moderators and not because of your CB post. It wasn't even a CB post. Over a year ago. So that was the story. That was his proposal.
And what else? All right, a couple things here.
Hi, Rob.
Just keyed up, but I want to respond. I was never kicked off the QRZ AM forums, and if he's telling people that I was, that's a lie. I never did anything on the QRZ. I did the same thing I did on his forum on QRZ. Talk about radio. Never been banned, never will be banned. So that's the first thing. And the other thing is like, so I'm supposed to make a new Facebook account just so I could go on his site? Now, he knows who I am. He knows my deal. And the third thing, what happened on the air? Because I don't know. You said that I know what you're talking about. As far as I'm concerned, I've never talked to Phil on the air before. So if you could elaborate on that specifically. This is W2BTK.
Can I ask a question in here, Frank? Frank, can I ask you a question?
My name is... I'm not Frank.
Well, this... Perry... What did he say?
What, Bear?
Where are you getting this information from?
From Philip.
Perry, what did he say happened on the air?
No. I know the story directly. So rather than going around the corner indirectly, the story's basically much simpler than that. And if you were smart, instead of talking about it on the air, you'd shoot me an email and we'd have this thing all tied up and it would be all done.
Hold on, Billy, hold on.
Talk about him on the air, not anything else right now. And we can just put this to bed by not talking about it and moving on. But if you guys want to keep batting this ball back and forth, it's kind of a mistake. Do it privately, email, and we'll get it all done. WB2GCR.
Hold on a second.
On the air.
Hold on a second. Number one, I said I wanted to talk about it on the air. I didn't want to talk about it on the air. Number two, if you want me to screenshot the messages, Bear, and there ain't no beating around the bush. This is coming from the horse's mouth. If you don't believe me, I'll send you the screenshots. Number two, okay? So don't come on here like jumping down my throat and acting like I'm an idiot, because this is coming from the horse's mouth here. And if said person wants to talk about it, when I said it was, when I said I want to talk about it off the air and they don't want to, that's their choice.
All right, look, let me say something.
I'm trying to help. You guys don't want to help.
First of all, and I'm addressing you, Bear, even though you're keyed up, because I'm not going to be pushed out of this conversation. I'm not interested in ever posting on AM Classic Facebook group again. That's done. I think they're all losers. Well, not all of them. I think Phil's a total loser. I want nothing to do with this site. That being said, I would gladly accept, like if I was welcome back on there, that would mean a lot to me. If I was able to read the posts and just be welcomed there. Not that I would ever post there, but to be welcomed there would be nice. You know what I mean? And also, Perry, I am still waiting. I want to know what he said happened on the air, because I've never spoke to the man on the air. Will you please answer me? This is W2BTK.
Him in the group to us up here in the Northeast, not that you spoke to him.
I'm talking, Billy, about the night when you got on here and went and flipped your lid and was calling him a loser and the dude's a loser and blah blah blah, and went off on a little tangent about it a week ago. You remember that?
I just did that like 30 seconds ago. I called him a loser.
Okay, well, you done it again. Okay, I guess you done it again since then. But the one night you really, kind of chewed into his rear end more so than any other night.
Yeah, well, you know what? The guy deserves it, Perry. He totally deserves it. I don't like what he's doing over there.
All right, I'm out of here, guys. You have fun. WB2GCR. Anybody wants my help, email me.
All right, Bear. Thanks for the interjections.
Yeah, all right, Bear. Sorry for getting heated there for a second. No, Billy, then that's your prerogative. That's why I didn't want to talk about this on the air. I never even should have brought it up. It was my mistake for even saying anything about it. But I thought that it would be we could talk about it off the air, but this didn't go as planned.
Yeah, well, guess what? Now I'm never going to stop doing what I'm doing because I think he's a loser. And whenever he comes up in topic, I'm going to call him a loser. His Facebook group is, just him trying to assert his dominance because he can't get a signal out on the air. He blows up all his rigs and just generally has no friggin' skills as a ham radio operator. So there's his forum, and he runs it in a way that's like, I will silence you if I don't agree with what you're saying, even if you're right and I'm wrong, and that's how it is. And can you just see, like, how big of a loser that makes him? I mean, it's true. And then he's trying to, I don't know, I'm done. He's a loser. I'm never going to change my mind. I'm going to come out here. How am I in your receiver right now? Like, what? Take a look at the S-meter reading. I'm going to keep talking. I'm going to keep talking for a long time. I'm 34 years old. I'll be doing this. I'll be doing this for a while. W2BTK.
Billy, I'm standing by for your apology.
Amen to that.
Can we all just stop for a minute and recognize that just for a second there, Perry almost sounded like AM Power. The whole first, and B, you need to be correct with what you're doing. KD2, AFB.
Hey, how about those Mets?
He wasn't propping himself up on a tree while he was doing it.
No. Well, the difference was, he actually had a point. Perry actually had a point. You had well thought out, constructed things to say, and you weren't standing there in the middle of the summer with a snowmobile jacket on, sweating your butt off, propped up against the tree in Jacksonville.
How about those Mets?
Dude, AM Power, Mr. Finner up, man. I still see his postings on Facebook. He's still selling amplifiers on Facebook.
What happened to radioactive radios? That's what I want to know.
I think they got super whack packed.
Yeah, they got shut down 4 or 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
14 GCM.
Contact.
Yeah, there's W4GCM firing up. There you go. Yeah, he was a joke, but it was a lot of fun.
Anybody got a sweet little mold Timmy?
Oh, Timmy, I listen to you all the time.
I listen to you guys all the time, and I don't stop controversy. And you know something? Number 2. If they can't take a joke.
Right on, Timmy. Right on.
So there you go.
He went into the hole, I guess. But anyway, I'm still listening here, guys.
It's a cesspool. Yes, Timtron has spoken.
Man, them guys down south are getting loud.
We got the pre-net, man. It's ramping up. It's getting vicious. I'm gonna have to do some SDR receiver trickery over here in a minute. I don't know. Everybody's got to be 0 beat on them now. Anyway, in my receive, they're up.
We're not gonna be able to 0 beat them, dude. They're all on boat anchors and they're all on different frequencies.
Right now, I was gonna say put the wire array on, or maybe I'll have to put the Junction 600 on.
You're doing pretty well, Timmy. But yeah, that would definitely be advantageous, I think. And yeah, I realize that now they're all over the place. So I'm just gonna enjoy my radio.
Hey, Billy.
Yeah, well, it doesn't really matter.
Hey, Billy.
Yes, sir.
What are you running for power? Just curiosity. You're the strongest thing out there.
I got about 375 watts of carrier at the moment, but I attribute my signal mostly to the ground conductivity and the radials that I have. Yes, old radials from the 70s, steel belted.
Oh, okay. Just curiosity. What kind of power you are running? I know Timtron is coming in pretty good. N2MIN down here in Long Island.
Hey, you're still holding up all right here, Art. Hopefully I'm doing all right. With, wow, my carrier's kind of up there. I'm running 300 watts, 290 watts of carrier.
You gotta say Long Island.
Long Island.
Hello over there in Greenwich. I don't know who that was. N2MIN, whoever cares.
Long Island. And when I left, Mark, over here in Greenwich.
We just tried it out the first time we ever had it on AM.
Yeah. Wow, it's getting hairy out here. Maybe I should increase my average modulation. I don't think I really can much more than this. That's a lie, though. What I meant to say is I don't think I can without sounding like crap.
I could increase mine, but it would bring up the fan noise. So I'm not going to.
Nah, do it, Perry.
Alright. That wasn't too hard to convince me. Alright, there we go. That's now I'm doing a solid 119%. Holding 119% pretty solid, 121% positive, 99% on the negative. W3 MMR.
Yeah, you got noticeably louder. I just gave myself some more compression on the way in. That might have done something. I'm not too sure. I was already pretty much up on the edge, though. Hey, hello. I'm sure that doesn't sound that good.
Well, this is where right here, this is where I was running where I've always had it set at. Let me go in here, hold on. Yeah, this is, actually this is a little higher than where I normally had it before. Let me check the ALC. Alright, hello radio 1, 2, 3. Alright, yeah, turn the ALC down a little bit. Keep the leveler up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hello radio, W3 MMR. There we go. Yep, loud, dense, get her done. W3 MMR.
Hey Perry, there's somebody trying to get in there at KB3 station.
Yeah, you got Kilo Bravo 3 Whiskey X-ray. You got Jeff located about 50 miles on the AM side. Was working with the EQ outboard, trying to make it sound decent.
Yeah, KB3WBX, is that right? Sounds good here.
Yeah, that's me. You got Jeff. And I'm located about 50 miles south of Pittsburgh.
Well, old Jeff, you sound great here in Southeast PA. Name here is Perry, Papa Echo Romeo, Romeo Yankee. The call is Whiskey 3. Mike, Romeo, W3 MMR. Running an Apache Labs Anon SDR. Here, 200D. And yeah, the Flex sounds good, man. Decent signal, despite all the QRM there, and you're coming in good.
You got the troglodyte on the channel, Kimmy.
Oh, damn, Timmy.
Yep, time to break out the heavier artillery.
Man, hey, Jeff, here's the best radio check you can get. See how well Timtron hears you. Or not.
Whoever that is, they're like a mother flea calling its young up here.
Man, I think Jeff kind of disappeared there. But good evening, Timmy. How's Timtron? How's things up in Scowtown?
Swing business. I've been listening in for quite a while. I've been working on a price on this week.
Our fan club's back, Billy.
Hello, Atomic Yellow. I thought it was fitting. How did that sound?
Junkston Adventurer. That's used up at
What a mess.
6160
Stopping by to give a little support for my friend BTK.
I'm not really happy with it, and I finally got the thing nailed to where it's working real good. So I'm going to put it in the can. I'm done. Time to move on to the next project. So in the meantime, it's time to kick back and play a little bit of Rod Diddy-O.
Yo! And hello to Dave, if that was Dave out there.
Yeah, hi, Timmy. Hi, Mikey. Hi, Billy. Perry. Who else was there? A couple other guys. But I wasn't really paying that much attention. Just stopping by to say hello. Beautiful night here on Beechwood Mountain. Sun's going down. There's no wind. I could give you guys the radio report. You want that? Weather report, I mean. Barometric pressure. What's barometric pressure, honey? I was going to do the barometric pressure, but we don't know what it is. Sorry. W2VW.
All you gotta say is the weather is fine business, old man, and we'll take your word for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Boy, oh boy, we're all coming out of the woodwork. At 7:45. It feels like it's like 10 o'clock at night.
Hey, Billy.
Here, did you get the picture I sent you?
I don't even know where my phone is.
I just want to tell you that don't worry about the forum Nazis. Over.
It's over?
Just don't worry about the forum Nazis.
No, you know what? The forum Nazis worry about me, Mikey.
Well, they got a lot to worry about because you got a lot of creep hanging out behind you. So I'm here, kid.
No soup for you.
So yeah, you know how it goes.
Well, the only site that I do any postings on is the AM phone website, and for all I know, I'll probably get banned for some of the last comments I made.
They can't ban you, Timmy. How could anybody run a forum that would ban you? I mean, that's un-American.
Well, they banned Don, KFOKYV.
Really? Yeah, that was really stupid. I mean, I understand that Don rants about Eastern Standard Daylight Savings Time every year, twice a year. He rants about it, but so? I mean, so what?
So what? I think from what I understand is he was taking shots at some of the new modern hammy-ham bone antenna tuners. But there was a posting. You know, some poor bastard was trying to feed his open wireline fed antenna with a mofo junk antenna tuner, And even with a DX100, he was cooking the ballot. So there were all kinds of answers and people saying this and people saying that. So I said, all right, I'll jump in. So I just gave him a little bit of a pep talk about what garbage this stuff is, and I referred to MFJ as mofo junk.
Yeah, so you're telling the truth. Well, you know what? There's always on the air. That's the bottom line. There's no moderators here. People have agendas here, but there's no moderators on the air. So, here you are.
All right, all of you need to clean up your act, or I'm shutting this frequency down.
Oh, hold on. Ants, I just want you to know, Ants redeemed in my chat room, BTK key on somebody, and the person he wanted me to key on was Clark. Ants, there you go, buddy.
Now, I'm still wondering, Bill talks a
Can I do that too?
But anyway, let's see what Bill's got to say. Bill, let me turn it over to you. N1BCG, good evening.
Clark, I am so sorry, but somebody actually in my chat, I have these things called channel points now, and for 1,500 channel points, you can redeem, have BTK key up on somebody of your choosing. And Ants here in the chat redeemed that, and he told me he wanted to key on you, so I did. I missed a little bit of that. It was for our friend Ants, 10180 out there in across the pond. So it was for a good cause, and I apologize.
It's lonely at the top.
There are many more in. But I don't want to drag it all out because there's a lot of people on the frequency. But anyway, so Bill, I'm sorry I missed what you were just saying. N1BCG, and I'll finish that story another time.
Any donations?
I'm looking for Clark steel belted radial tires, old ones, because I want to put them all around my area here so I can get out like Billy.
Just as long as you don't drop them off in front of my house, Dave. Thanks.
Key up and say, am I strapping this guy or what?
Clark, I really feel bad, but it was for Ants. He's a big fan, and that's what he wanted.
Tim, you're strapping him with a lavender boa.
Well, there you go.
Timmy got me?
Yep.
Walk.
Nice.
And there you are, Billy.
I'll show you how to walk the dog.
Yeah, I'm sure in South America, Timmy's louder than you are.
See, so you can't redeem Strap Timmy. It doesn't work. But I guess I could try. I would expect no less, though. Like, Timmy should be able to strap me.
It's all dependent on conditions. That's all.
Timmy's the OG channel master, Cameron.
I gotta fix that thing.
So what's up, Clark? No, come on.
I'm on the phone. What?
Oh, okay. That's acceptable. I thought you left.
No, I'm on the phone. I'll catch you later.
Who are you talking to?
None of your business.
Is that Bubble Girl?
You don't want to mess with Bubble Girl.
Hi, Bubble Girl.
I hear that mud duck. What is this, channel 6 now? I can do that with my butt. Hang on.
You better wash that microphone.
Those are soul hairs tight, and let me hear you whistle a tune.
Timmy, I'm gonna go get myself a Dr. Thunder soda so I can get some belches going.
Another black eye for AM.
And his call is...
Just how many watts are you running? Me? Oh, I don't care how many watts anybody's running. You know that this little what is this, a Meritron? It's got a half of an 811 in it that I'm using here. Yeah.
What happened to the other half? Filament broke?
It flew off. It went right through the top of the amp.
Okay.
Well, that's the cool thing about a grounded grid amp. One of the tubes goes up, you still got the other three.
Yeah, you know, you have 4 tubes. It's like you have 4 radial tires. One of them goes flat. You just pull it out.
Multiple tubes were a solution a long time ago, and it's been a long time since they were a solution.
I just like one big-ass tube in the transmitter.
Yeah, it does save a lot of grief.
Yeah, because I've seen too many situations where a couple of them are kind of laying down on the job, and the others that remain are going, I think I can, and they're getting all red in the face.
Yep, but then when you're dealing with somebody's existing amplifier, you know, it's kind of hard to... But being in a position where you can specify how it's going to go from the start is a whole lot easier than fixing somebody else's design. I don't know why I still do that. Really don't, but I do. And I think it's more of a challenge than homebrewing. W2VW.
Yeah, but you know, when you roll your own, you do it your way. You're not beholden to somebody's skimping or inferior design.
You know, the last time somebody gave me a homebrew amp, it was 3 813s and grounded grid, and the thing didn't work for squat. It was in a 5 or 6 foot rack cabinet. I gave up on it, and I ripped every component off of every chassis, splayed them out across the floor, and said, okay, let's build a real amplifier now.
And there you go, parts. A lot of homebrew gear that's not done well is great parts stash.
And it was great, the chassis. I mean, the guy was a machinist, obviously. The chassis were beautifully stamped. The meters were cut in and everything. Just, there were so many cold solder joints, piss poor decisions, filaments, you know, 3 filaments wired in series, and just all kinds of dumb crap.
So you re-engineer it. Maybe instead of the 3813, something like a single 41000 or some big ceramic tube.
I first I messed around with a 4-400, a pair of those. And then, I don't know what I did with that thing. It was a pair of 4-400s, that worked well. And then I used it as an experimentation to learn a little bit about tubes. I was 16, 17, and I had a lot of people giving me crap that they had in their garage from years back in the ham radio club, and I think I went through 3 or 4 different types of tubes in that amp before I finally farted it out and made something completely different out of it.
Yeah, sometimes it just goes that way. Yep, you part it out. Anyway, I'm going to kick back here. Maybe I'll just get a little tiny glass of red stuff to relaxicate by. This is WA1H-LR.
I had no idea you were a vampire. AB3AL.
10 base.
Did I hear Carrie in here earlier?
No, I haven't heard her this evening.
Oh, I could have swore I heard her. Oh well. AB3AL on the frickin' sea. Anyone else around?
What? Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Bravo X-rays. We're still listening.
Alright. Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Bravo X-ray. And there was one other station? There's someone in there, but they are very, very weak.
He wants to hear Timtron's burp.
That's by appointment only.
That's right. Draft's about to start. I'll be back. W3MMR.
Close the window.
Yeah.
I was about ready to break wind.
Then you're going to have to fix it.
Yeah, something to do with a crack.
Get arrested for that stuff.
Windy crack. Oh, man. Ain't nothing like a crack in the AM window. Yee. That's pretty.
What's all this dead air stuff? I just went to go throw some crap in the microwave, get a glass of wine. Where'd everybody go?
Dude, we've been talking the whole time.
Yeah.
Time to fill in the dead air.
Oh, I just walked back in the shack and there was dead air, so I wasn't sure what the hell happened. All right, carry on. I'll be back.
Did you guys ever talk to Brian on here? I forget his call sign. He's from up north.
Up north.
I think he's up around, I don't know. Greensburg, up toward there someplace.
Nah, I don't know. I know Brian in Maryland and Annapolis, KB3WFV, but that's the only Brian I know.
QSL, yeah, you gotta probably talk to Craig, KB3RHR. You guys ever talk to him?
Yeah, I know Craig. I know Craig pretty well, actually. Talked to him many times. Yeah, Craig's, I haven't heard him on a lot lately, but I think he's working a lot.
Yeah, I live about 6 miles from him. Yeah, I know Craig pretty well, too.
Oh, cool. Yeah, well, yeah, that's a nice area out there. But yeah, you're still holding up well. Out my way, you're doing it. You're about 20 over. Some QSB, the band's jumping up and down, but that's a story on that. All right, I'm gonna run into the other room because the NFL draft's starting, and I want to see what's going on. I'm only gonna watch the first until the Eagles pick a 21st pick, but that still might take forever. So I'll probably be back in a little bit. W3MMR.
Hi, W3MMR, Kilo Bravo 3, Whiskey Bravo X-ray. Yeah, you're about 20 over also. Sounds good down here. All right, 73s, man.
Yeah, all right, Jeff, take care. 7-3. We'll be back. Back. God.
And you'll never be back.
Alrighty then.
What?
What? Wait, what? Let me see something here. Hello. Red lights. Nope, no red lights. Okay, thank you.
Hi, Dave. KD2 AFV.
Hey there, Tobster. How you doing?
Not too bad at all. Picked up a nice shiny water heater.
Far out, man. Yeah. It's going to be funny. They're going to be like, so how do you know him? That's good stuff, man.
I already talked to him on the phone. I was just like, yeah. I know Dave from the ham radio. And I think I got, like, silence on the phone.
Yeah. They wanted me to describe you a little bit more in detail, you know, when they found that out.
Hey, the chat is saying that those the first call signs they heard in 30 minutes. We gotta get on top of this. They're paying attention.
Oh no! You think somebody's gonna call an OO or the FCC? Gee, make sure that your own house is in order before you do that, boys and girls, because let me tell you what, it will backfire.
Yeah. But regardless, I don't know. They have a point. W2BTK.
I'm gonna make my phone calls right now.
Oh no, not you! Oh, we're just having so much fun.
That's right, boys. Fun's over. The law is here.
Everyone straighten up. Mom's in the house.
Just when you thought you could just do anything.
Hey, Carrie.
Hello. Pulling an INR. Got my technician at the wheel here. Looking good?
I think you can fly down.
Yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, close enough for government work.
Carrie, is Ken there?
No, I'm not.
No, he's not here.
Oh, because I was looking at your thing there, your new mud wrestling pen.
Did you see my post?
Did you see what he put up?
Yeah. Where are you going to get a hoe?
Fun over here.
Gas station there. There was
Come on,
one
boys.
standing around
Keep
there
on
in the
chatting.
corner.
I'm sure you were totally behaving yourselves 100%. I've got full faith in that.
I just poured myself a glass of wine, Carrie, so give me a few.
Up the corner there was one standing outside there.
I'm gonna get me some radials. I'll put down some radials and get some Goodyear custom poly steels and sprinkle them all over the lot.
I run Michigan.
There you go. I don't know. Last week, my son and my neighbor were having burnout contests in front of my house. Well, Kenny started it. You know, of course he did. He put the Camaro back together, you know, and he went to the neighbor right down the road there and, you know, wanted to make sure that he had, you know, scrubbed the tires a little bit. So that ensued a burnout contest that's been going on for a week between the two, and we're like maybe 3 houses apart. Sometimes I really do feel bad for my neighbors.
Yeah, but you won't have to repave the road because it's going to be coated with a fresh coat of rubber.
That's what I figure. It's like putting a sealer on it, right?
I don't know. I remember I had some cars that if you did that, but they were heavy cars, you would actually rip a hole in the pavement. I don't think your cars probably don't do that though.
No, they spin so fast. All they do is just lay the rubber right down. It's that soft racing rubber, you know.
Bobby and Cletus want that to happen when there's a barbecue because everyone will lose their appetite.
Carrie, if you need burnout tires, I've got you covered.
Oh yeah, you got some burnout tires for me?
Yeah, how many you want?
What size are they?
There's a mountain of them. I'm looking at it out the window right now. What size isn't there?
Just the baldest baby's ass.
Hey, Timmy. Oh, they got to be 12 inches wide. What? 30 inches tall.
No, I don't have any of those.
Hi there, Carrie.
What's up, Tron?
Just living life. What can I say?
Aren't we all living the dream? Yeah, Billy, I need big boy tires.
UA1STA.
Those.
Hey, Steve.
Well, that's cool because Billy needs my pants.
Those are small tires, Kerry. But yeah, I don't have anything like that. I'm just going to keep hitting my foot pedal. Even if you don't need them for like doing burnouts, they're good for like antenna radials too. Ask Dave. Have you seen this crap in Australia? These burnout contests, Kerry?
Boy, I'll tell you, hard to get in between here.
Go ahead. You go, Steve.
Thank you, Carrie. I knew I could count on you. W-A-1-S-T-H.
All right, time's up. I'm kidding.
That's all right. Go ahead.
Steve?
Say again?
What do you want to talk about?
I don't know. What do you think? Is that Billy?
Yeah.
I don't know. You lead it off. We'll all follow.
Talking about how much my neighbors dislike me because, you know, we've been having a burnout contest all week.
Are you winning?
Of course I'm winning. I always win.
At what point in time are you going to go out there and show all these guys how it's done? Because I know that's what it's leading up to.
Yeah, I haven't actually taken my car out there yet. Kenny's had his Camaro out there. Was that your tires that you were saying? The 30 inch? That's yours. That's your big tires. Or mine aren't that big. Yeah, mine are 10 by 29. But that's okay. They could be a little bit skinnier. Because I'm just going to leave a bigger burnout.
Harry?
Yes?
Well, what are you using now since there's a shortage of bleach?
I don't need no stinking bleach. That's for sissies. I got horsepower.
That's a good question.
We use pimp juice.
Juice?
What do they call it? VHT or something? What's that crap? They make the pimp juice with it. It's like half that sticky crap, and I don't know. The drag racing people know. You know what it is.
Greasing your wheels with juice?
The juice. No, the juice. Pimp juice.
You like the juice?
That was awful. W2BW.
Try V8.
Every 5 minutes just to make sure. Because somebody's recording this.
W2JBL. Oh, just ID over top of the massive triple key.
W2JBL.
And when they left.
W2BTK. Excessively compliant.
Say hello to Chris if that's Chris.
Yeah, hi Rob, hi Carrie and everybody. Carrie, when did Ken get the Camaro on the road?
Well, last week. That's the short answer.
Well, congratulations. That's cool. I thought about that car from time to time. I'm glad to hear that it's seen the light of day again. I heard something about engine trouble the other day, though.
Yeah, the engine's back out.
Right, it'll be back in next week.
But it'll be back in next week. Yeah, he's got pistons out. He's got stuff to do. It's a long story, but yeah, it's 14 years in the making, Chris. 14 years since that car saw the light of day.
Wow. Nice looking car. Nicely done. Very nicely done. So that's cool. Hey, that's another entry if, God forbid, they open things up and we meet at ATCO later this summer.
Yeah, that would be nice. But you don't want any of that. Trust me.
I know that. But, hey, you know, if your car weighs 4,000 pounds, then I still have a chance.
3280 with me in it.
Oh, you told me it weighed 4,000 pounds.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Yeah, we
That's
lie.
when Ken's in it.
Because we race. We're street race. We're liars.
My car weighs 4,000 pounds with me in it.
Why don't you just put some helium balloons in and it lightens it?
Yeah, that's it.
I'm going to have a nitrous bottle and an Arc 5 transmitter.
Terry, you said it took him 14 years?
Hey, Dave, I think you should come over here and, I think you need a Cadillac transmission.
I already have a Cadillac transmission.
Well, now you can build a better
You
one.
can never have too many.
Oh, yes, I can. I clean out my garage. You know how many spare transmissions I'm down to? 0.
Yeah, but now you can build a better one.
I don't need a better one. I got one that was done by Sal from Staten Island back in 1989.
Wow.
And it sat in my garage from 1994 till about 3 years ago. I didn't do anything with it. Put it under the car, and it was fine. Leaked for a little while, but then everything got swollen again and stopped leaking. Very much.
I like when things fix themselves like that.
And Dave, Turbo 400's got an extra clutch pack in it. It's better than a Chevrolet.
Somebody was talking about, like, you know, cars that were, like, falling apart on the road, like, limping stuff around. And, like, I really wish you were on the air, Dave, to tell some of those, like, transmission stories and stuff like this. Oh, man, it would have been perfect.
Yeah. I can tell you that if you know what you're doing, you can burn up third gear and still drive around without it. But you gotta do it. You gotta know exactly when it happened, and then you have to change your fluid and your screen, and then you can just keep it in 2 for the next couple of years. I know a guy that did that.
Hell, I got 308 gears, and that freaking motor will turn $7,000. I rarely use third gear.
You know, with the price of gas now, you're good.
That second gear in those Crown Vic, the police interceptors, oh my God. It goes past red line. You can do 90 miles an hour in second gear.
Yeah, I know. My Caprice will do close to 100 in first gear.
What's the stroke on a Ford 4.6? Can't be that.
A very nicely built engine. You know, I love my Crown Vics. I just actually had my 98 Crown Vic. I had the rear had to get rebuilt in it. And I took out the 355s and put 308s in there, and it's just a much happier car on the highway. And yes, it'll go over 100 in second gear. And it's right on the horsepower peak.
I wonder if that's in mine, 302 rear end.
No, I think they were either 327 or 355. I think you got 327s in yours. That's the most common.
Well, that's fine by me.
Who's got a bigger rear end?
Now, to answer your question before, Rob, yes, it took 14 years.
Is that because of the electrical line going through the door? You couldn't get by it?
No. That was, he just needed somebody to get him motivated. And that was my youngest son. Was like, just kept at him. And it was like, come on, Dad, let's just put this together. Now we have the time. You have no reason. You have no excuse. You have the time. He took his first ride on it. Now, mind you, the motor was hurt and didn't even know it was hurt. And he still got a hell of a ride out of it. Hasn't even reached its peak of 1,000 horse yet.
Rob, you remember that car? You must have seen it when we were down here.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was buried under all the crap.
Caged and tubbed.
Yep, that was sweet there. Yep. And Chris, I went by George's house the other day. The rubber's still in front of his house.
I got a brand new Eaton Posse in there now. Holy crap. I can burn two nice straight black stripes as far as I want, as long as I don't lift. That's wonderful.
Can you do a picture of an open wire fed doublet in front of his house?
I'm going to do the burnout video with that antenna in the background. And I had a question about bleach, which I don't need, but doesn't bleach, that's corrosive. If I do use bleach just for the video, for effect, isn't that going to corrode my beautiful 4-link?
Probably. Just do it. Just make sure you get into, like, the highest gear that you have in the car while you're doing the burnout. You won't need bleach. It'll make smoke.
Well, it already makes plenty of that, yeah. But I'm getting ready to retire a set of tires, and I want the rear tires to go out in a spectacular fashion. and post it on YouTube. It's a 78 Chevy Caprice two-door, okay? It's Grandpa's car. It looks like Grandpa's car, but it ain't.
Fourth gear burnouts. That'll do it.
Spectacular way to see them go is to just get a few number of people together and a couple of kegs and get a fire going and use them as additional fuel. We'll have ourselves a tire fire.
Oh, like the rioters in South Africa. Yeah, well. No, I wanted to be on the car. I want to, burn them right down to the cord.
WA1HLR, my 40th birthday party. We had ourselves a tire fire.
Oh, I remember something about that.
Oh my God, that had to stink.
That's like nightmare fuel for me. Don't say tire fire.
KC2 Sierra Delta Radio.
K2S or K something SDR.
Yeah, KC2 Sierra Delta Radio.
Running 20 watts.
25.
All right, KC2SDR running 25 watts. You're in the log.
Yeah, I just got done with making a new fan dipole yesterday, because my old was so old, so I replaced talking about my new one now, and actually I have to do some trimming on it, but it resonates right on this frequency right here. Usually I have it resonate at 3.8, so I have to do some adjustment, but it's looking pretty good.
What happens when your antenna doesn't resonate?
Vote your double key, what about resonate?
Yeah, so what happens when your antenna doesn't resonate?
Then you have to try your antenna tuner or work on it so it will.
Well, isn't it easier than climbing up and down and trimming the antenna and putting up 4 antennas that are resonate? I don't know.
Probably, Dave.
Yeah, I was looking for resonance. I think they come out in the springtime when it first gets hot out. You put some sugar out on the sidewalk.
Then you break out the can of WD-40 and a cigarette lighter.
My uncle usually brings my aunts out.
I thought the resonance went out.
W2VW.
TV3AL. W2BTK.
EC2UFU.
WA1SGH. W2JBL with chimes.
WA1HLR.
I think that Chris and Timmy should have a mini key down. Let's see what happens.
I'm waiting for the Piston Moonnet part 2.
Yep. Well, it is I am crapstal controlled.
Damn, yeah. Dude, Chris, you're going off the pan adapter right now. I don't know what the hell conditions are doing, but it's a stupid amount of signal here.
What, I'm wide? Shouldn't be wide.
No, signal strength. I'm talking about occupied bandwidth at all. Just your carrier is going up over the top of the pan adapter. Like, I can't see the tip of it. That doesn't happen a lot.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Yeah, that's because I'm using a non-resonant antenna and a tube transmitter.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Timmy was like the channel master for a while. Pretty close. I just wanted to see what the difference was, but it was like whatever the hell's going on right now is you win.
Maybe I shouldn't sell the big amp.
Somebody's got to tell ICOM about this.
Well, I'm using an ICOM right now, as a matter of fact.
Yes, it's making a couple of electrons.
Yeah, there's all of 22 watts out of the ICOM 718 to drive the amplifier.
Really? 22 watts?
Into 75 feet of RG59 and then into the KW.
All right, so your accuracy may not be the best. Yeah, I remember using, I think 12 watts was enough before I modified my grid tuning circuit to work on 160, and that changes everything. Yeah.
I don't really worry. I did measure it once just so I had a benchmark, but it's whatever it takes to get me to 25 mils of grid current.
Yeah, that's the important number right there.
Might be a little high, might be 28 mils, but everything's okay, fine business.
Did you ever check the meter shunts? Probably not. They're in a hard place to get to. But you can check them without, I mean, theoretically anyway, you could check them without digging into them.
Well, if I increase the grid drive, the output power in the modulation envelope doesn't change at all. And if I reduce the drive, it doesn't really change a whole lot. So as far as I can tell, you know, the metering is accurate. I looked at where those shunts are, and unless something fails, I'm not going there.
Yeah, I had something fail in mine. I had to dig into it. Yep, that's the right answer. Wait till it breaks. But nobody does that, Chris. Everybody wants to... They want to change all the stuff around, you know? What's up with that?
So these people do a frame-off restoration on a classic muscle car, and it comes out better than it did the day it left the factory. And at that point, it's not a 69 Camaro Indy 500 pace car anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never done anything like that with anything I've ever owned. I just like to throw some time at what I know is going to break or what's already broken, and then if I don't like the way it works, I'll do whatever it takes to make it work the way I want it to, and that's the end.
Yep, I don't do cosmetic restoration. I do a spit shine, clean it up, get it working, modify it if I feel like it. But, you know, the total bare chassis, remove all the components, polish the, you know, the whole Howard Mills thing, to me, you're destroying the history of it. I just don't agree with it.
Yeah, throw an STP sticker on it.
Oh, I've got a, oh no, it's not on this one. I had a, oh God, what was it? The Hush Thrush Woodpecker. I had a Hush Thrush Woodpecker sticker and racing decals on my Ranger back in the day.
Yeah.
Them are thrush woody woodpeckers on the back of the Nova.
There you go.
Yeah, I was going to stick a win in Vietnam and then get out bumper sticker on my rig.
Gotta have a Morsu sticker too.
Thrush muffler in the ass end of the Nova.
There you go. That's actually what I'm using on the Chevy is the Thrush welded turbo race muffler. It's just it's like no baffle in it.
More into not having it quite as noisy, but it's got a good rumble to it.
Well, that's cool. That's cool. You know, I just put I'm using a David Clark style Aviators headset in the Chevy now for the mobile installation. I gave it its first road test a couple of days ago, and it's wonderful because that's a loud car. So now I've got receive audio directly injected into one ear.
Yep. Well, I don't know how New York State regards that, because I've heard of people getting nailed for playing ham radio in New York unless they change that.
Well, it's legal, but I went hands-free. I've got the Avcom Aviators headset with the boom mic. You can only cover one ear in New York. And I have a racing, a NASCAR-style push-to-talk button on the NASCAR steering wheel spoke, so I'm totally hands-free. They can't touch me.
Well, they can't do a damn thing. I kind of did the same thing when I had the Cadaverlac on the road.
Oh, it's great having the PTT on the steering wheel, and plus I've got, what do you call it? I've got side tone, so I can monitor the transmit audio. Oh, that's great.
Yeah, yes, indeed.
You can only cover one ear, but you can put 20,000 watts of stereo in a Honda and drive down the street.
Yeah. It's funny there aren't many of those cars on the road around here anymore. They just sort of died off over the years. Thank God.
And the old boom, 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 coming down the road.
If I drive up to the city of Poughkeepsie, which is a shithole 15 miles north of here, I'll find a few of those cars, but they ain't around out here no more.
Yeah, things change, like back in the 60s, people always put reverb in their car stereos, generally an 8-track machine.
Are you kidding? I had my freaking Panasonic AM/FM under-dash 8-track in my 68 Fairlane, and a Lafayette reverb and an extra 6x9 just for the reverbs. I had 3 speakers.
Well, there you go. You're a prime example.
Oh, I was styling. Except I wasn't listening to Guns N' Roses. I was driving around listening to Count Basie.
Well, there you go. Yeah, SW81H and yell on.
W2BTK. Speaking of not there anymore, hey, the net's gone.
There was a net. W2VW.
Yeah, it's W2JBL. It's a funny thing. Every time I come on Tuesday or Thursday night, a lot of the time the net seems to end early. I haven't figured it out yet.
3 a.m.
Yeah, well, the thing that gets me is I think we're being heard. And it's like, if somebody wants the frequency, they should get a hold of us and say, do you mind? But just to fire up is not okay. It's no-K.
Last week or 2 weeks ago, I heard one of them during the day. I could hear Paul, but I couldn't hear the station who was talking to him. But it was one of the guys from the Mullet Net, apparently complaining to Paul about us. And they claim they can't hear us, yet they complain about the interference.
Chris, you're doing real well in the Georgia Web SDR over here.
Guys, I might hear a couple of them.
Yeah, a lot of these people have a very strange relationship with the truth and good operating practice.
And people north of the Mason-Dixon line.
Chris is really strong in Georgia right now. I'm pretty strong down there. Timmy is the strongest. And Dave, you're doing pretty well, too. I mean, right now, I'm a little bit over Einstein.
I heard the devil went down to Georgia.
What about
I'm going to play Georgia on My Mind on the guitar tonight. I actually played that for the first time in about 30 years ago, and I'll play it again tonight in honor of the Gulf Coast Mullet Roadkill Possum Net.
Yeah, hold on. I'll overlay the Georgia Web SDR here.
How good they hearing the me down there in Georgia?
Well, just log in to my Twitch, man. Twitch.tv/sniffmyballs. You can see the pan adapter from Georgia. You can see the pan adapter from New Jersey, and you'll know how much signal you have in both of those areas.
How many dB on the pan adapter, dBm am I generating down there?
Let's see. I think the top scale is dBm minus... I don't know. It's showing you're making a big old streak down the waterfall, and you're over an S9.
Oh, it has an S meter? Okay. Well, I wasn't sure. You know, if it had something in dBm, that'd be a little bit more relevant.
You're like between minus 95 and minus 80, bouncing around. It's got both the gas meter and the dBm.
That's 40 over.
A big streak down the waterfall. Man, that reminds me of the last time I went on a hunting trip and got drunk. Came in.
Hey, kind of curious how I'm doing in Georgia this evening. Georgia's just a little bit off target of the wire array, but nonetheless, it seems to work okay. This WA1H and LR.
Yeah, you're a little bit above Chris. Looks like me and you, Timmy, are doing, well, right now we're in a fade, but when we're popping up, me and you are like a little over the S9. Chris was, it's like bobbing and weaving around, but you have a very distinct skid mark right down the waterfall there in Georgia. They hear you, dude.
Oh my God, I'm strapped. That old skid mark buzz.
Yeah, Chris is taking you out here in Jersey, Tim, but down there you got him in Georgia.
Well, that's because we got the sod buster on.
I may have to go downstairs and turn up the variac.
5 seconds delayed, so it's a little hard for me to tell.
I may have to go downstairs and turn up the variac.
Yeah, you got one of those variacs there.
A steering wheel.
So I got another 3 dB in my back pocket just in case it gets rough.
3 more dB.
Some might say.
How many pounds is that, K-Man?
Well, let's see. That's probably about 6 pounds.
Yeah, that's only a half a pound. What kind of scale are you using there up there?
An imaginary one.
Are you guys hearing crap from Steve STH's FT101? Man, he's rude up here.
Oh, is that who that is?
Yeah, it's pretty nasty.
Yeah, he's hitting it too hard.
That's what my wife said.
Going on.
Doesn't look like he's hitting it that hard.
Well, he's feeding his 528E right into the microphonium input. So no doubt he's overdriving the first stage.
Harmonic distortion splatter, yep.
And I told him he should modify the foam patch wiring, which goes in parallel with the microphonium connector, and wire that to the top of the microphonium gain plot, therefore bypassing the first stage. You know, with typical solid-state audio gear, the source impedance is far lower than the solid-state or transistor equivalent to AC plate resistance of a tube in parallel with the load that you're pumping in there. It have no effect on things. So just plug that dude in and you're not overdriving anything, because how the hell are you going to overdrive a pot?
I could probably figure it out.
How to overdrive a pot?
If you overdrive your pot, you'll be smoking your pot.
For sure.
That's kind of what I was getting at. I don't know what kind of pot we're talking about, but I got gas.
All them guys up in One Land and them Canadian guys on here are all on pot, I heard. I'm going to call the FDA or whoever.
Really?
No, well, people are calling the authorities already, so I think that we should just get everyone busted and get on and have a net.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Well, another night in the hood here.
You know, it ain't half bad when if you got cops walking the beat, you know, that's the thing. They can't be riding around in their cars.
You guys are still here?
Yeah, that's right.
I haven't seen a cop on patrol in this county in 3 weeks, and I have word from the inside that due to the local government have no revenue coming in, that they've had to cut way back on patrol.
That's not good.
No, it's not. Fortunately, crime is very low in this neighborhood, but I'm afraid that as all the people that are out of work in this county or in New York State run out of money, because most people live paycheck to paycheck, that it's going to get ugly.
Hey, we'll all be used to waiting in line for food after this, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chris, I saw one of your congressmen the other day. She posted on Facebook that she put a potato in the microwave and hit the button for pizza. And when she took it out, it was still a potato. She just couldn't understand.
Congresswoman Sandy Galiff. NFB. No effing brain.
No.
That's like
Cortez.
Well, that was the county that I've just moved out of Putnam County 2 years ago, and that was our Congresswoman Sandy Galiff. She's been in there forever. Total. I'm not going to go into politics on here, but if it was AOC, I'll believe anything that comes from that nitwit. And she's in New York City, and I'm 70 miles from there. Thank God.
It's like that YouTube video where they asked those kids, if you're going 80 miles an hour, how long will it take you to travel 80 miles? And they can't answer it, dude. Like it cannot get it.
What if you have to stop to use the restroom?
No stops.
For you.
No stops or some stops?
They didn't ask questions like that. They would say like, it's 10. It's got to be 10 because 80. It's got to be.
W2VW.
W2JBL.
WA1H and YLR.
W2BTK.
AB3AL.
And Fred Thumbhart as the Beaver.
W3MMR.
It's not discriminating against minorities, so we finally got a cure for that.
I didn't get that, Dave.
I said the coronavirus does not discriminate against minorities, so that's over. They can't complain about it. They're getting more than their share.
Well, Comrade de Blasio, the communist mayor of the city of New York, contends that the coronavirus does discriminate and that the African American community has a much higher infection and death rate.
Well, that's true. They do. But that's what I mean. It's not being held back or anything. They're getting their share.
Well, I had my share of it up here for 2 weeks in the last 2 weeks in March, and in my particular situation, it wasn't all that bad. But that said, the antibody testing is being done in secret. I can't find anywhere to go to get the antibody test to prove that I've had it. The state is testing people at random sites. They're not announcing where they're going to be, which I just think that's totally wrong.
Yeah, who's the last person you shook hands with?
I want to know.
My proctologist.
Last guy I shook hands with was one of my high school buds. I saw him today. He sold me a real nice stand-up floor model drill press, and he ain't got it either. I had it. He hasn't.
Is it a Rockwell?
No, it's a Northern Tool. It's an old Taiwanese drill press, but it's nice. It's very nicely made. It's way better than the piece of crap I had before. Well, you saw the other one.
Yeah, that's great. Well, enjoy it, and keep the big red power button where you can reach it.
Now I can make better mobile antenna parts. I've been making bottom masts because the one I got from Hustler was garbage. The one that I got from DX Engineering was even worse garbage. The DX Engineering mast bent after I screwed it into the antenna spring and then bent it over to screw the resonator on it. It bent the freaking mast, so 3/8 diameter 6061 T6 aluminum extruded rod, and got the tapped dyed at 3/8 24. So I made one the other day that's 5 feet tall. You can't buy one that's 5 feet tall. It barely fits in the trunk of the Chevy. Well, that and the Hustler resonator on top. It's a naked resonator. I pulled the frickin' heat shrink tubing off it, at which point the resonant frequency went up 5 kc. Now with that coil, 5, 6, 7 feet, counting the height off the ground with a bumper, 7 feet off the ground. I went 100 miles an hour with that thing, heeling way the hell over, flapping around in the breeze. Guess what? Got the resonator that high, it doesn't detune anymore when you go fast.
I used to have mine on the deck lid of my car. I made a custom through the trunk lid mount. And I heard you talking the other day that you don't think guying them is going to work, and it doesn't if it's on the end of the car, but I used to guy mine with fishing line, and went on a 2,000-mile round trip with the car, and it held together. I only made one contact the whole time because I was driving weird hours. I talked to Herb between North and South Carolina on the border in the morning when he first fired up with his DX100. Had a Sonar Marine radio for a transmitter and a Radio Shack, like a Sangean receiver for a receiver. That's the only person I contacted the whole time.
That was funny. I did up a Sonar Marine radio as a transmitter over the winter, and in my Jeep I use a Radio Shack DX394, which is not a very good receiver, but oh God, where was I going with this? Jesus. Oh, I just had a brain fart. Man, give me a second to collect my... What the hell was I going to say? Oh, well. Oh, yeah, it's one of your resonators I'm using.
Yeah, they must have had some special dirt on them. If you cut it off and it moves that much, it's supposed to be invisible. Good stuff.
No, I discovered this last year. It's not invisible. I started with a 40-meter resonator. I peeled the stuff off of it. It was printed red from the red insulation on the wire. I stuck it in the microwave. 1 minute on high. It came out. It had shrunk, and it was hot.
You ever put soap in the microwave, Chris?
No.
Try it.
Did you ever put fish in the microwave?
I don't think so, but yeah, Dave.
I put food in the microwave.
The Q went way up when I got rid of the heat shrink. So last week I did it to a 75-meter resonator, and then I coated it with 2 coats of thick coats of polyurethane. Yeah, resonant frequency went up 5 kc, and mind you, I'm hitting it with 120 watts of carrier. It doesn't detune as I transmit from heating anywhere near as bad as it did.
You've got a shunt inductor at the feed?
No, I use a cap.
Yeah, well, they both work the same, I think. It's just, throws the resonance in one direction. Oh, no, not resonance. Anyway, yeah. Okay, either one.
Yeah, the cap is easier to deal with. And also, after removing the heat shrink, the 2-to-1 SWR bandwidth is barely 20 kc, as in the full Meta Flex radio people say 10 up and 10 down.
Yeah, that's a good indication you're not losing power someplace.
Oh, yeah. So, I'm going to back up. This was the brain fart. When you were listening to me, you heard me testing and tuning, and I took a 1-hour drive calling CQ on, I drove down to Brewster, New York and back, and then halfway to Kingston. I was out there for a good hour. Calling CQ all revved up with my 5-foot mast and my aviator headset. And the best I could do was a contact with a pissweaker in New Jersey with a low dipole and 20 watts. I could barely hear him, but you heard me through that? You should have called me.
No, I didn't hear that. You were discussing your antenna here at night with someone saying that you don't guy your mobile antenna. No, I didn't. If I heard that CQ, and you were CQing and nobody answered you, I would have fired up, even if it was with 10 watts.
It sucked. It absolutely sucked because we got people, we've got the Guardians of 85, we've got Ted, we've got Bear. There's a few people that are on here all day, every day, and it's just, I guess I picked the wrong day.
Yeah. Well, that happens. And plus, there's been some solar stuff that's, the absorption during the day has been extra crummy. Well, depends on how you look at it, but it's been harder to communicate.
Well, I'll tell you what, on 40 meters around sundown and on 20 meters a little before sundown, yeah, there's some solar activity. Holy crap. I haven't heard 20 and 40 that good in the late day in about 11 years.
Older. Yeah, I bagged New Zealand 2 nights ago on 10-meter FT8, so there's something going on.
PAY a couple days this past week, and conditions actually for that distance for here, for what I got, are quite good. And I've been hearing about the 40-meter stuff about this time a little earlier. I'm too settled in here.
Well, I'm on 40 on sideband in the DX window. I don't know about AM, but meanwhile, I'm trying to do a sked with a friend of mine out in Minneapolis, a guy I used to work with, and 40's too short at night. 20's too short during the, 40's too long at night. It's no good during the day. 20's too long, too long during the day. So I'm looking at, I got to work this guy on 75, I guess, but he's a piss weaker, so I don't know what's going to happen. But well, we got sunspots and things are looking up. I'm going to yank out of here. I'm going to go see my friend Miss Gibson for a little while and make some music. And I'm going to check some activity on my local Simplex channel here on 2 meters too. So I'll see you all later, Dave and Bill and multitudes. W2JBL.
Good night, Chris. Take care.
See you later, Chris.
Thanks for stopping by.
I hear you in there this evening, Chris. W2JBL from WA1H. Seaman,
yeah, big signal with the Junction 600. I saw that email you got from that guy. All you need to know is look that idiot up on QRZ.com and look at the picture of his station, and you'll see what you're dealing with.
I know, I did.
He needs to, well, I'll let it go. But, good night, all. Bill, and I heard Mike in there, too. W2JBL, and I just got down.
Alright, seizure.
Whoa, dude, like, did you just silence the chimes, or did your audio cut?
No, I unkeyed.
Wait, whoa, what?
Okay.
WA18.
I unkeyed. So here's chimes. And here's me unkeying.
Hey, you're doing real well in Georgia, by the way. With those chimes.
Yeah, you took it off your screen there, so I have no idea. Boy, I'm really lighting up your screen. I'm getting all the way up the top of this screen. Here we go. Boy, that's pretty.
Yeah, that's a good signal there.
Doing nice.
On the wall, 8:53. And what's the time? Thursday night, usually it's 160 meter night. It seems like the noise levels are low. So I'm going to boogaddy on out of here, check out 160 to see if anybody's there, and if not, I'm going to be winding it down and crashing. Been an interesting night. See y'all later. This WA1H YLR.
Good evening, Tim. K1ZPF.
Hey, see you later, Timmy. Real nice. You're strapping in Georgia, man. I've been, you know how I know when I'm doubling is because I'm watching the Georgia SDR, and me and you are like nowhere near each other in frequency. So when I see two lines, I know.
Well, there you go.
Well, nice talking with you, Timmy, as always, 73. And looking forward to